Welcome to Randall's Log Video 146. I'm Randall Armstrong. Today's date is actually Sunday, May 28th, 2017. However, this video is for Friday, May 26th. This is video 3 of 5 because of the trip to MegaCon. 4 days have gone by without me making a video and videos. And I wasn't able to do it because I was out of town, so I'm back and I'm trying to do all my videos. That's a little recap for you. Wednesday night, spent the night at Marco's. Thursday, we actually made it to Orlando. We went to the convention there. They were only open from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Technically, 2 p.m. for VIP members. We were not VIP. But we had a good time. And then... So now we're talking about Friday. Friday was cool. Friday was good. We woke up, got ready. We made it there around between 10 and 11, and they opened at 10. I think there was like 2 parking areas. We parked in the south, and there wasn't a lot of traffic in the south. Probably because everyone else is driving into the north area. I'll have to remember that for next year. But depending if it's still in the same building or they move it to another building. But either way, yeah. Getting there, parking was easy. Walking in, we already had our badges, so we didn't have to stand in line or anything like that. We kind of just walked around like, boom, badge, walked in, smooth. First thing I wanted to do when we got there was go through 50-cent boxes. I think I spent a good, between 1 to 2 hours at this one spot. Had a lot of long boxes, a lot of books. They were all 50 cents a piece. Just going through, I bought a lot. I was not expecting to buy that much. I ended up spending $100. And I bought almost an entire long box full of comics. Many of those comics were Superman books. There was a time period where I temporarily quit comics. This was before I started my comic book store. And I always try to keep up with Superman, so I used to buy all the Superman books. But I used to be heavily in debt, and to motivate myself to get out of debt, I told myself that I would not buy any more comics until I wiped away my debt. And lo and behold, I eventually, it was very sad for me because, I never wanted to quit comics. I've been collecting and reading comics since I was in middle school. The majority of my life my real love in life is comics. The comic genre, it's what makes me happy in life, really. And then, of course, friends and family. But anyways, it was very heartbreaking to quit. But then I was very happy to collect again after I claimed bankruptcy. So I did. I wiped away my debt. I was debt-free. And I claimed bankruptcy, 7 or 8 years ago? 7 years ago. No, 8 years. It was 8 years ago. I claimed bankruptcy in 2009 because that's when I got my new car. Coincidentally, I claimed bankruptcy after I got into that last car accident I got into, and I had to get a new car. And then I was just like, I can't afford a new car, especially with all the credit card debt. And I finally did bankruptcy, and my dad helped me out and was able to get me the car. But of course, I had to get a job right away and make payments on the car, which I did. And so everything worked out. It really did, for the better. And to this day now, I'm still learning stuff. So like I'm learning to get a new credit card, rebuild my credit, and helping my mom pay off the house with her money. I'm not making enough money to help out yet. But learning mortgages and learning all this other information. So stuff I really think I would have liked to have learned when I was younger, I think. I don't know, I was pretty lazy when I was younger. I still am a little bit, but I'm getting better. But let me see. Yeah, so we spent a good portion of our time. They were like walking around looking at other vendors and other stuff, but I was digging through those boxes, and they had boxes like labeled Superman. I went through all the Superman boxes. I went through a few of the Justice League boxes, because Justice League essentially was all the other characters like Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, actual Justice League books. Those were in those boxes. Funny story. A lot of those boxes, a lot of the books in the boxes had Heroes Haven labels on them. So I remember, I don't go to Heroes Haven very often, but I did hear that so many of their back issues, so many of their, the store has been condensed. Like, it used to be bigger and filled with more stock. Now it's kind of condensed. Like, a lot of stock is missing. So I see where the stock went, and I bought a bunch of it, almost a long box full of it. So 50 cents a piece, man. It was a great deal. There's no denying it. And then, so I ended up having to, I wasn't going to be able to carry a long box with me throughout the day. There's no way. My arms would have died, my everything. It would have been an unpleasant day. So I made the decision, talked to Marco, found Bryan, got Bryan's car keys, and literally walked out of the convention, went back to his car. Thankfully, they had people on bicycles, and like they had the seats where you can sit and they can ride, take you. Thankfully, there were people there. One nice guy took me, and we went there and put the long box in the car, made it back. Paid the guy like $12 just to be nice. I figured, $5 there, $5 to get. I mean, technically, I later on told Marco how much I paid, and he's like, "Dude, you paid too much," because they pay. Like, I asked him how much he charged, and he's like, "Whatever you feel like charging, whatever you feel like paying me." So I was like, "Okay." I wanted to be nice, so I get that a lot. I've been called generous. But anyways, that was so convenient and so happy. So I walked back in, and then after that, because I remember, oh, I totally forgot to mention on Thursday that we ran into Michael Savage, Clark Leslie, the guys from Uncanny Heroes, our friends. Anyways, Michael said, "Hey, you guys want to meet up tomorrow for lunch, or hit me up tomorrow and we'll meet up for lunch." So I'm like, "Okay," and I did that. I responded late though because I was too busy going through those back issues, or the 50-cent boxes. But I finally hit him up, and I actually found him after I dropped off the books in Brian's car, and so I made it out to. I went first to Savage, and then we found Marco, then we found Bryan, and I said, "Yep, they want to go out to lunch," and so we spent maybe a good 30 minutes to an hour figuring out, hey, where are we going to go for lunch? We would walk over here somewhere, stop, talk, then walk somewhere else, stop, talk, then walk somewhere else, stop, talk, and then finally we decided, okay, let's just go to Denny's. So yeah, and Denny's was good. Had a good. We had such a fun time just talking comics, talking convention, all that stuff. We had a great time just hanging around together. We must have spent a good hour, at least an hour, sitting there just eating and talking. And we finally said, okay, time to head out, time to head back to the convention. We went back to the convention. I think Marco tried to do a couple more interviews. I ended up visiting Bat Banning. Bat is like a nickname. I think it's a mixture of his first and last name, Bat, but it's Matt Banning, who he's an artist, but he's also an inker. And he had some prints there. There was a really cool Mark Silvestri print. So I bought that, and he signed it. Real nice guy. I had chatted with him. He said he hadn't been to Orlando in like the past 15 years. So I'm like, that's so awesome. So happy that he made it out there. I have him as a friend on Facebook, so I'll have to make sure I post a picture and tag him in it. And then later saw Michael Cho. He had some really cool prints. I really should have just bought one print. I ended up spending $60. He had two like DC prints. They were $30 a piece. They're very nice prints. In fact, I will show you. Forgot I brought it into the room. He was doing a buy two get the third one free, but just for the Marvel prints. So here's the Spider-Man print. I really need to get like frames for these and hang them up. But even if I got frames and I really don't have the space to hang them up, here's the Batman one I talked about from Matt Banning. And then here are the two DC ones. Of course, I had to get Superman. If you look closely, he made it out to me. It's like to Randall. And Green Lantern. So, I mean, this was like the last Green Lantern that he had on there, so I'm kind of glad I got it. But yeah, so did that. While I went to go do that, Marco went to go try and interview Jim Zub, and I can't get into the details of it, but he wasn't able to get the interview. Prior to that, I think we went to go talk to Nick Bradshaw, who's a really cool guy, and another artist, and he said that he'd be willing to do the interview, but it'd have to be the next morning, which I don't even think we had a chance to really meet up with him and do that interview. Same thing with Dan Parent, who works with Archie. We spent a good amount of time hanging around and talking to these other guys to try and set up interviews. And I really shouldn't have even been there for the interviews, but I mean, I guess on the off chance that they said, yeah, I'll do the interview, like Marco probably would have needed me to take pictures, but even then Marco was like, oh, I'm not going to interview these guys till tomorrow, which was Saturday. And so it's like I could have used that time to get my signatures that I wanted to get, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I owe Marco big time because he got me the passes. He got me the press badge to get in. So I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get into MegaCon without him. I mean, I could have went to MegaCon and paid for it, but I really need the money, especially since I'm not working right now. Which that will change when I get back from Japan. But yeah, we did that. I did manage to get one signature at the end of the day. Last minute, I made it to, and huge thanks to Rick. Rickety Rick. He hung out, we ran into him again, and he hung out with us again, and he helped me out. He was like, oh, you know what? I forgot to mention John Boy Myers. I'm pretty sure it was oh no, you know what? That might have been Thursday. Probably was Thursday. We met John Boy Myers, and he gave us free prints. Each of us a free print. But like a dummy, I left mine and Marco's print over at Bryans' place. It wasn't in my MegaCon bag. So I forgot to put it back in there. I never took it out in the first place. I think it was Brian that took it out, or Marco took it out. And so I was just like packing up, like, I'll get into the details of that. That's for, that was for tomorrow or Saturday, not tomorrow because today's Sunday. It's confusing doing these videos. Anyways, I have to mention John Boy Myers, awesome artist. He did the Batman Adventures 12 MegaCon exclusive variant. He's done one before, and then he did another one. This time it had the acetate cover, which is awesome. But yeah, he met the guy, and he was just so pleasant, so nice. Marco had like a really great interview, and after the interview was done, we chatted with him. I got a picture with him holding the print that he gave me. He had a Batman Superman print. I was going to get the Super Sons print, but Brian was like flipping through and he found a Batman Superman, and I was like, because I'm a big Superman fan. I'm like, I got to get the Superman one, but he's so cool. He really is. I friend requested him on Facebook. Hopefully he accepts it. If not, hey, it's okay. He's still a nice guy, still a cool guy, and I will totally support his art. Awesome artist. But anyways, back to Friday. because it was Thursday I think we met him. But yeah, back to Friday. Um, Thankfully Rick was there and helping me out because I was holding the art prints with Michael Cho and Matt Banning and holding that and holding my chair and having my backpack. Um, my hands were full, so it's tough to like set everything down and pull out the phone and try and take a selfie. So thankfully Rick was there and he was able to take pictures. In fact, he took the picture with me getting a picture with Matt Banning and me and Michael Cho. Um, and then also we go to Holy Grail Comics and they had Chris Claremont, the legendary X-Men writer Chris Claremont. He's so friendly, so nice. Um, Very well spoken. Like I've never, I don't recall hearing him talk, but standing in line and seeing him talk, like he was so nice. He talked to everybody that was there in line for him. He talked to everybody and he was signing. He was only charging like $5 for signatures. But it was so cool. And I told him how he looked at me and he was just like, he saw this DC book and he's like, what do you have there? And he's like, I know I didn't do that book. And I explained to him what I was trying to do. And it was kind of embarrassing too. Like I didn't expect him to ask me questions, but he was just like, so what have you learned from the book? And this is the book, the DC's Guide to Writing Comics. And the truth is, like, he kind of caught me by surprise, so I didn't really know what to say. Because the truth is, I really haven't, I've browsed through the book, I haven't really read it. So I said, I haven't really learned anything yet, because I'm still getting around to it. So once we made it past that awkward part of the conversation, everything else went smooth. I asked him, what kind of advice would you give to a comic book writer? And when I told him I wanted to be a comic book writer, he was like, you're a fool. So that was it was an awesome moment, and I got a picture with him, and oh man, I was so happy. He was definitely one of the big signatures I wanted to get at that convention. There's still, a dozen more signatures that I really want, but like Mark Millar, Grant Morrison, But anyways, that was a really cool moment. I was really happy about that, and yeah. And thank God for Rick. And then afterwards, there was a UD Replicas booth right next to Holy Grail, and TJ McDonald was there. So I got a picture with TJ, and it was good. It's always fun running into TJ. TJ, every time I see him at a convention, he's always smiling. He's having a great time. Like, he's just like, hey, what's up, man? Good to see you, Like, every time there's a convention, it's like, I see him. He sees me. It's like, hey, what's up, man? I wish we would hang out more often, but, he has his group of friends, his clique, I get it. I understand. We have a history because we've known each other for a long time. First time I ever met him was when I worked at Demolition Comics, and he was hired to manage it. So good times. Good times. But yeah, so after the convention was done, we went out. Where did we go for dinner? Oh, we went to this little Spanish restaurant place or Spanish market place. We went there and we got, what is it? I wanted to play it safe, so they had like, it looked like chicken. I'm pretty sure it was chicken. And it was like, just soaked in like the barbecue sauce or the sauce that they cook it in. So I had the chicken and then I had the rice, and they poured the sauce on the rice as well. And I devoured that thing. That thing was good. It was really good. But yeah, we ate, and then Bryan put on this movie from the guys that did Red versus Blue. I'll have to look it up. It's Laser Team, I think. It was a fun movie, like, it's, long story short, aliens are coming to attack the world. The world got an advance warning. They found somebody to be the champion and groomed him and trained him. He was supposed to receive equipment that was going to help him defeat the alien army, and 4 bumbling idiots came across the equipment, and each of them got a piece of the equipment, so now they're kind of having to work together as a team and train and try to take out the aliens, and it's fun. It's fun. It's like one of those like funny, like, independent sci-fi films, that kind of quality, but I mean, apparently they're doing a sequel from what Bryan told me. So we got to watch a little bit of that, and then we went to sleep. So that was that. That was day 2 of MegaCon. That's it. This video ran way longer than I wanted it to, but it's because so much happened. I had to put in all the details. I had to. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for day 3 of MegaCon. Big surprise on that day too. And I will see you tomorrow. Or tomorrow night. Good night. Bye. Thanks for watching.